Hi everyone, welcome to today's general reading. My intention for this one is to find out what the universe seeks to share with you at this time. Whatever the root of the message is, we shall see depending on what the cards have to say. I just like to shuffle a bit more before I share. Okay. Wow. Okay. I did a reading for myself earlier and these two cards showed up. Your entry card is the Strength card. Incredible. Then the World, which at first showed up in reverse, but then when it fell out onto the floor, it came out upright. Then you have the Seven of Cups and the Ten of Cups in reverse. These are the cards that showed up in a reading that I did for myself personally, literally like 30 minutes ago. And it has a lot to do with the energy that I've been reading on for the past few weeks, I think now, maybe a week and a bit. I will link, or rather, because I'm remembering that I'm also sharing this on other platforms. So please check out the rest of my YouTube channel, all the TikTok viewers. There's a reading there in which I speak about a relationship that's meant to be happening right now, but that isn't because of some false perceptions or misdirected intuition where someone thinks they're using their gut in judging the intentions of a person, but they're not actually going through their gut. They're moving from fear, and it's a shadow work thing. Yeah. What that reading is about and what that energy is about is via my YouTube channel. Please check that out. Otherwise, looking at this deck straight on, I'm looking at someone who, very, very specific message, really wants to be in a relationship, and has essentially been trying to manifest like a loving one, but isn't in one and seems to have consistent trouble with like connecting with people and relating and maybe even trusting people. You have the Empress beneath the deck, and it's unfortunately that really annoying message that I hate to repeat, but is unfortunately a very true thing when we're working with like energetics. It's the idea of how any kind of lack or nurture that you may be experiencing in your external world is a result of the lack of application of nurture to your own self in your internal world. You know, when you're going through some bullshit, you may be going through a phase of your life right now where you're processing darkness about others or yourself, or you're facing the truth about some like really heavy stuff. Again, about yourself or about others, but likely has to do with yourself, and it may or may not be affecting your lovability in a way, or your openness, or your like free-handedness or free modelness, your trust in others, your trust in yourself. There's just a real closed off situation happening right now spiritually, but the closed offness is on purpose and can be remedied with a little bit of nurture. Eh? I'm receiving that you really need to give yourself some love in whatever way that looks like to you. I give myself love by massaging my womb, massaging my hands, massaging my face and my feet. I also I do the praying thing as a form of nurturing myself as well. The rituals, the lighting a candle, and making sure I keep up with my spiritual work. But that's because of who I am. So you find out who you are, what you value, what's most important to you, and try to give that to yourself. If you're somebody who values gift giving as a love language, try to give yourself a gift then. Get yourself a gift. Make yourself a gift. If you're someone who values handwritten letters, write yourself a letter. If you value crafted things, I love crafted things that are crafted with someone's hands. So make yourself something to that extent. Do something to care for yourself and to open up any avenues of closeness you may be experiencing. You likely are experiencing as part of your shadow work. I feel called to read, interpret both the Ten of Cups and the Seven of Cups in reverse. interesting to also get a repeat of cups as well. In a reading, you have three major arcana cards, one of them being underneath the deck, and then the other cards, the only other cards that appear in the reading are of cups. So, very emotional period in your life, I'm guessing. Your emotions are like being stretched, pressed. You may either feel numb to your emotions or like they're like overflowing, like overcoming you. So I'm going to start with the Ten of Cups. This in reverse speaks of feeling incapable of love or full commitment, holding back, possibility of deceit in a relationship, storms ahead, problems between two people or within the family that are not being addressed. I would just look out for that. If this is giving, this is giving a cheating scandal coming clear. This is giving someone's cheating behaviors needing to be faced either within them personally, or the cheating behavior is revealed and it becomes like a problem, you know? But whoever's the person that's lying and deceiving is going through processing right now. That's a random channeling. Beware of that. If you are someone who is, cheating and all that shit, beware that you might get caught. This is giving that. Or if you know anyone in your direct community who does that, let them know. Please stop, baby. This card in reverse speaks of fantasies that are never put to the test of reality, grandiose schemes with no practical application of energy to manifest them. Choices offered, but the least challenging road is taken. Now with this, I'm getting, again, that energy like I'd opened up with, that two people are meant to be together, but two people are meant to be together, but they're not because one or both of them is going through a shadow period, which is to say, again, if you are somebody who has been trying to manifest this in your life, then know that don't give up. If I'm reading for somebody who's on the edge of their edge, you know what I mean? You feel you've waited long enough for like a good union or a connection to come into your life. If you're feeling hopeless and you've seen enough of these readings of people telling you love is coming, and then it doesn't come. It's coming. It really is. It's just that in order for this to happen, it has to meet you in this state, right? It has to meet you whole, well, as whole as you can be, as whole as you can achieve, like by yourself. There's some healing that you need to, there's healing that you do by yourself, I believe. There's healing you do by yourself, and there's healing you do in relationship. The healing that you need to do by yourself, that you and this other person need to do by yourself, is still not finished. And that's all it is. That's all it is. It's not, please don't think through this journey of trying to bring in love for yourself, manifest love in a perfect union. Please don't take it personally. I feel like I may also be reading for somebody who you're surrounded by true love and people finding their match. A lot of people in your community are booed up and have been booed up for a while and are building families and are like making legacies with their partner. And because of how often you see it happening around you, even in your bloodline, and not happening for you, it feels personal, almost like you're bad luck or some shit. But that's just shadow work. That's just shadow work. You're not bad luck, but it's also not invalid that you think that you are. If by chance you feel that way, it's not invalid. It's not true, but it's coming from a place within you that needs to be tended to. With these two cards, I'm getting a lot of heart pain, or a lot of heart expansion in the form of feeling through very painful emotions of rejection. Yeah, and self-invalidation or insecurity or like loneliness. Yeah, but the way that loneliness reflects, the way that loneliness can lead you to think that you're not worthy. So yeah, now I feel called to touch on the strength card, and then I think that I'll leave it at that. I feel called to let you know that you are making a huge step forward towards whatever goal it is that you're trying to achieve in your life. This is a major, that I feel like you're in the middle of a very major leap. I don't even know. I can't even supplement that with more. I just felt called to say that. This card speaks of release and resolution of unconscious material, your deepest fears, confusions, desire, anger, sexual urges, their transformation into spiritual energy, emerging from difficulties with increased inner strength and endurance, courage, hope, calm assertion. I also sped through that because I realized that this is a big theme for us. This card has shown up a lot in my personal readings and in other tarot readers' readings. So yeah, I get the sense that we're just all going through this right now. And I would like to also give you room to interpret this picture and this image and the vibe of what I've just said for what sits true with you. I'm also receiving a lack of a connection from the divine, from like the divine source, and the vibration of how a lot of us show up in this world feeling rejected from God, or feeling like, why would God put me in such a crazy place? God must clearly hate me. if God put me, if God put me in such a crazy world. Yeah. Beneath the Empress, you also have peekaboo. I didn't see that. You had the 10 of Rods and the 9 of Discs. How sweet. With the presence of these two cards, I'm receiving a direct message for you to try to alchemize your singlehood while you're still single. Also, another message I've received before where, like, your divine union is so on the way you don't even understand. And instead of moping around about how you're not in divine union or whatever, you should be appreciating the time you have with yourself. Because once this union comes, it will overtake your life in ways that will definitely leave you missing, not missing, but just thinking about how much energetic space you had when you were by yourself. You have a lot of energetic room, you know? I also saw, this is a random one, but I saw there's this conversation trending on social media right now, well, on my social media, about the concerns of needing to consider your partner's tastes when you decorate your bedroom. So this girl was saying she really wants to change her sheets to pink, but she shares a room with her boyfriend. And now all the single honeys are going, well, glad that's not a me problem. It's so funny, but especially if you are heterosexual and if you are a femme identifying heterosexual attracted to men, is what I'm trying to say here. If you are attracted to men, specifically cishet men, you really do forfeit some level of like feminine comforts because of how your femininity will naturally brush up against the masculinity. This is a very narrow example, by the way. This definitely doesn't apply if you're queer, and for most queer people, it's like, thank God I'm not interested in men. But yeah, the one of the prices you pay for being interested in men is like having a challenger to your femininity, essentially. You know what I mean? Anyway, all of that to say that you should really enjoy being single. If you are single, enjoy it. Stretch it out. Enjoy your time alone. Enjoy how much space you have in your mind to just think about you and you alone. Enjoy your peace. Enjoy your peace of mind. You know what I mean? I totally relate to this. Please, I'm reading from inside with you, where divine counterpart has been all I've wanted literally since a kid. Like, I know the rhetoric is how Disney and the romantic movies and all of that really spoon-fed us this as the main narrative. And I know that decentering this, da da da, whatever. But I am honestly somebody who, like, I've identify so deeply with this as a desire that decentering it would, for me, mean decentering me as a person. This means so much to me. I know I wasn't brainwashed into thinking that this means a lot. This just means a lot to me. And you may be the same. And as a result, this is part of our spiritual awakening, essentially. So this in reverse, not feeling this, not believing in this coming for us, it's just so skewed. It doesn't make any sense, and it's not true. It's not aligned, and is really just part of your spiritual work. Enjoy. Try to find enjoyment in every step of your journey. Try to find enjoyment in the present moment. Yeah. Find enjoyment in the present moment. Try to access the love that's in the present moment, but I don't know, that's very difficult to do or understand. But if you sit still, it's one of those things, if you believe it. And this will take practice and a lot of practice in tapping into stillness. But if you sit in the moment right now and ask the moment, try to open up as far as possible and keep practicing this if it doesn't hit the first time, because you have to open your energy bodies to even believing that this is like something that works. Sit in the moment and ask the moment to give you waves of love, to give you an emotion of love. Welcome it in. Then pause. Try to shut the fuck up and be as quiet as possible and as still as possible. And just like wait, you know? You can put a time limit on it if you're pressed for time, but if you've got the time, let that waiting stretch out into a moment and just sit and be. And you will feel the love. I swear by this. I swear by that method of stillness. I think anything can come from that, especially feelings of love and wholeness and connection with the divine, which is exactly what you need more than needing like a connection, more than needing whatever divine fulfillment, whatever external 3D fulfillment we could seek from life. What we really, really need is a connection with the divine and a remembrance of that, a remembrance of God. This card upright also emphasizes a connection to the intuition. So in reverse, it's giving that that's not what's happening for you right now, which is necessary, because you really won't be able to relate or function in your relationships properly without that connection to your intuition. As I feel I'm reading for somebody who is a spiritually, energetically heavy person. You are weighted, you're important. And as someone with a lot of spiritual weight, you have to refine your intuition. That has to be your main goal and main focus. So even for me, yes, this is amazing. This is everything. This is definitely who I am. Desiring this definitely is who I am. But I also know that within this can only happen with a true connection to myself, to the divine, to my intuition, to the present moment, all of that stuff. It's all spiritual. That's also a line that feels very important. It's all spiritual. It's all energetic. That may be helpful in processing all of the shadow work. Yeah. That's all I've got. I feel like I've really stretched that energy. And I must admit, I did lose focus a bit into the reading, but I really hope that this helped. And I really hope that you stay hopeful. I hope you're still looking forward and still feeling really excited about getting all of your desires, but more particularly about coming into your perfect union and enjoying relationships in general, right? This union that's coming for you, that's definitely coming for all of us. It's beautiful, it's divine, it's blessed, but it's also like, it's not the whole cake, there's more to the cake. There's more flavor and experience and layers and all of that. There's so much to life in general. And I hope that you can stay focused on that, you know what I mean? Through everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next reading.